to a string of issues with YouTube, my channel has been unfortunately demonetized for quite a while. So if you do enjoy my reactions and my content, I'll be moving to a different channel once it hits 500 subscribers. The channel link will be down in the description. Sorry for taking up your time. Enjoy the rest of the video. Ah, Big Dong Man, Big Jong Man.
What a pleasant surprise meeting you here!
Oh? Why, the pleasure is all mine. As is the surprise, surely. It must be fate that brings us together in this place. How have you fared as of late?
Everything has been going great. Things have been going alright. Well, yeah, I'm only feeling alright because of yesterday. Aww. There she sits in silence, enjoying a pleasant time with her parents. Best not to bother her.
Setbacks are inevitable over the course of a long journey. If you wish to share what's troubling you, allow me to lend my ear. There is no need to shoulder all burdens by yourself.
Thank you, Zhongli.
I had planned to take a walk to Qingce village and gather some nascent bamboo shoots, which are currently in season. A villager there once gave me a small sample, and they possessed a most excellent flavor.
Why can't you just use normal bamboo shoots instead? Okay, Mr. Particular.
He's a connoisseur.
Yes. Ahem. The nascent bamboo shoot has a uniquely tender texture and a delicate sweet taste that its normal cousin cannot match.
An astute observation, Paimon. You know me well indeed.
The high-class bamboo shoots.
Might I invite you to imagine the sheer delight that is a soup cooked with the freshest nascent bamboo shoots in all the land. Generous cuts of pork belly and crisp, fragrant bamboo shoots placed together in the pot.
I know exactly what he's
left
talking
to
about.
simmer slowly for half a day.
Thank God I'm having lunch in a couple hours.
Paimon's onto your plan. You just want to hoodwink us into fetching your bamboo for you.
Yeah, keep pretending, Paimon. That soup is indeed very nice, I'm just saying.
We're heading out. Enjoy your walk, youngly.
Take care now, you two.
1,000 miles for an enigmatic tune. The exquisite night.
As for Director Who's list, I shall attend to it after one last round of tea.
Look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. Certainly the festive period, huh? Now you just turn off the lights, god damn it.
Oh, this one's only just sprouted, and it looks super fresh. Paimon thinks this is the one. These should be enough. Let's head back.
Help! Help!
Did you hear that? Someone's calling for help.
Oh, are we gonna meet Xiao?
Are you okay? Did any water go down the wrong pipe?
Yaoyao just appeared out of nowhere. That's the music troupe. That's gotta be the guys from the music troupe Xinyan was trying to attend. This lad's from Fontaine. Look at that gimmick. Oh my. That's one hell of an outfit.
I think I'm okay now. Thank you so much.
What are you doing out here, lad? You're supposed to be in the US city.
That was scary. Well, at least you're all right. All thanks to your savior here. Oh, a little girl? Greetings, everyone. My name is Yaoyao.
Oh, look at that.
It's a pleasure to
Look
make
at
your
you, Egway, in the
acquaintance.
back.
I'm Dvorak, a musician from Fontaine.
I didn't know this at the time, but the character Dvorak, the musician with the immaculate drip, he's actually voice acted by the YouTuber Macro Meatball. At least the EN side. He does a lot of music reactions. He's an opera singer, and I really like his content. So finding out that it's him that voice acts this musician too, by the way, it was very interesting indeed. That's really fucking cool. Fontaine drop, Fontaine snippets. I'll take any I can get. I want to know more about France.
I came through Stone Gate, intending to head towards Liyue Harbor. But then I became captivated by the beautiful scenery, and before long, I was completely lost. Just now, I was so mesmerized by the waterfall that I slipped and fell into the water. If it weren't for Miss Yaoyao's help, I shudder to think what might have happened.
Man's got style.
Mr. Dvorak?
Dvorak?
As long as you watch your step, accidents like this won't happen anymore.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I'll remember to be more careful next time.
Everyone savors some delicious lotus flower crew.
So tasty. If only there were more.
More? You already had the Sumpter Beasts share.
When I was traveling through Mondstadt, I had a chance to try one of their moon pies. It had a meat filling, unlike these crisps. But apart from that, it seems like they follow a similar cooking process. Both are delicious in their own way.
Pies and crisps? Similar?
As for Fontaine's cooking, though, it's been a long time since I've had a taste of home.
When I was in Paris, there wasn't a lot of things that I would call like memorable that I ate. Oh right, the snails there are delicious though. Whew.
Sounds like you spend a lot of time on the road, huh?
I do. It's part of my job. I'm one of the main organizers of the Iridescence Tour.
There we go. The Iridescence, right? I forgot the name.
The Iridescence Tour is one of the biggest music festivals in Fontaine. We're looking to expand, though. Our aim is to hold a festival in every nation.
And Xinyan missed 2 of them. The first one because they did her dirty, and the second one because they did her dirty again.
At least, all the main organizers share this goal. Unfortunately, it's a long story, so I'll spare you the details. But anyway, so the main reason I'm traveling all around Tavad is to promote our music festivals. But I have some personal reasons, too.
Well, what are they? Just tell us already.
To explain it in full, I'd have to start with a story from my ancestors. The story goes that my ancestor, who was also a traveler, once slipped and fell into a lake during his travels. As he was sinking and gasping for breath, he heard a wondrous tune in the air. They say it was the most beautiful, moving melody he had ever heard. Even in that life and death moment, the ethereal music seized his full attention and almost made him forget the fact that he was drowning.
Yikes. I mean, yeah, it might have been captivating, but holy shit.
When he finally came to, he found that he had already been brought ashore. Not too far from him stood an unfamiliar woman with an almost divine aura. Once she saw that he was no longer in danger, she left without a word. My ancestor tried to run after her to give his thanks, but although a mere dozen paces separated them, no matter how quickly he gave chase, he drew no closer and remained a dozen paces behind. In the end, all he could do was to bow in thanks to the woman as he watched her walk away towards the rivers and mountains. And
maybe she was just introverted, you know.
He turned around and made his way home. Once he returned to Fontaine, he began to learn an instrument so that he could spread his story far and wide, just like the bards.
To reach the woman?
After generations of retelling, embellishing, and dramatizing, people have come to think of that lady as something like a fairy. The story's become something of a local legend in Fontaine. It's called the Lady Overlooking the Lake. People now say that if you go down to the lakeside and play an instrument, so long as you play a pleasing melody, you will hear a fairy lady who is hiding out of sight, playing along with you.
Wow!
At its heart is a true story.
Exactly. It may just be a legend to others, but for me, it's a real part of my family history. I wanted to find out the truth of this tale, so I decided to retrace my ancestors' steps and search for that lady's modern-day descendants.
Well, you got Yaoyao instead. I don't think that you did the steps exactly right.
I've spent many years on the road now, and I'm nowhere near as fit as I was in my youth. The wish that I've spent half my life chasing after has now become something of an obsession.
Well, I haven't lived half of my life yet, but still, I understand how you must feel. Paimon too! It's like... imagine if you saved the center of a lotus flower crisp, which is the best part, by the way, because you wanted to eat it another day, but then suddenly, sploosh, it falls into the water, never to be seen again!
Yes. Sure.
There's no need to feel sorry for me. I've made some progress over the years. For example, I've concluded that the story must have taken place in Liyue. I'd always known that Mondstadt is the city of song and freedom, but more recently, I heard that the Animal Archon returned to Mondstadt for a festival in the fall, and learned that he himself is a patron deity of music. So I prayed for the Animal Archon's guidance in the Mondstadt Cathedral, and as soon as I set foot back outside the front gate, I noticed a cluster of leaves being blown in the wind further and further west, towards Stone Gate. A friendly local told me that this meant the wind was guiding me in the direction of Liyue. So I followed their advice and made my way here.
That settles it then. It was Liyue.
Well, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't I bring you all to Yujing Terrace to see Miss Ganyu? I don't know very many people, so I can't help you out much. But Miss Ganyu and the Keqing know just about everything. If you've been scammed, they'll help you get your Mora back. And if the wind was telling the truth, and you want to keep looking for that lady's family, they'll be the best people to ask.
That does sound like a good idea.
You know what? It's been a minute since we saw Ganyu too. It should be nice to pay her a visit before Lantern Rite.
Right, dang, the last time we saw her was literally just the last Lantern Rite, wasn't it? Last time we saw her was 11 months ago.
A few moments later.
Look at how pretty this thing is. Wow.
Liyue Harbor looks very different from when I came last. It's almost as if I'm listening to the same melody, but with a richer timbre and new variations added.
Well, we are here during Lantern Rite after all. It only comes once a year, so they always have a big celebration. It's fair to say that this time of year is when Liyue Harbor looks the prettiest.
Look, okay, there's gonna be a point in the story where I believe it will get very intense and dark that we won't have the time for a Lantern Rite event anymore. Instead, it will be replaced by something else. Think of it like this. We're in the Conrian arc, and we're in the middle of taking down Celestia. But no, let's go down and celebrate New Year's while the world's coming to an end, you know? You see what I'm saying?
The streets are breathtaking.
You're breathtaking!
Smiles and laughter everywhere I look. It's contagious.
Oh, is he? He's following.
I can almost feel the music in the air. I have the urge to start waving my conductor's baton.
Come on, Dvorak. Oh, Xinyan!
Hi, everyone! Fancy meeting you all here. What a nice surprise.
Haven't seen you since Summer Fantasia.
Traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak, right? I've known them all for quite a while.
Yeah, I guess you would know Dvorak.
When I was last here to advertise a Liyue stop for the Iridescence Tour, Xinyan was one of the few people willing to give me the time of day.
Feels like I've been chasing this Iridescence Tour bandwagon halfway around the world, but I keep getting stood up. What's going on, Mr. Dvorak?
I'm so sorry, Xinyan. We've had a string of terrible luck recently, and every time we've tried to put on a show, something or other has come up to stop our plans from materializing.
Is that right? I guess it can't be helped. So, what brings you to Liyue Harbor at this time of year anyway? Thinking of putting on a music festival during the Lantern Rite celebrations?
A Lantern Rite music festival? Yes, please!
No, I'm actually here on personal business this time.
Oh, so no Lantern Rite music festival?
I mean, that's not just up to me. Hosting a music festival takes a lot of funding and personnel. Moreover, I've never worked with the Liyue authorities before. Even if I were to start putting something together right now, I think it'd be too rushed.
But we're going to meet the Liyue Keqing, aren't we? And they're the ones in charge. Uh-huh, that's right. Miss Keqing and Miss Ningguang can make anything happen.
With Miss Ningguang's wealth, a Lantern Rite music festival would be a huge hit.
That's the spirit! See, even the Traveler agrees with me. Mr. Dvorak, don't let yourself be put off by the fact that a few things haven't worked out recently. As for the performers, I can put you in touch with some local artists. My friend Yunjin is a well-known opera singer in Liyue. With her support and a commissioned song from the Yunhan Opera Troupe, we should be able to get something going.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
Good lad.
But...
Oh, it's Master! Is it okay if I go and say hi to her?
Oh, calm down now, dear. I'm not about to run off anywhere. I'm not a bundle of energy like you.
I haven't seen you in days, Master! I've missed you.
Oh, bless you, Yaoyao. You do say the sweetest things. Ah, look who it is. Visiting friends during the Lantern Rite, are we?
Greetings, Madam Ping.
You're half right, Madam Ping. We were also trying to help out Mr. Dvorak over here. We were on our way to take him to see the Keqing.
Hello, ma'am. I am a musician from Fontaine and an organizer of the Iridescence Tour. I don't suppose you've heard of it.
Master! The Iridescence Tour is a super famous music festival.
An old lady like me wouldn't know much about that sort of thing. A music festival, you say? It sounds terribly exciting.
If we could add some musical elements to Lantern Rite, if we could organize a Lantern Rite music festival.
You're an elder of Liyue, and you know all about Liyue's cultural traditions. Hearing your thoughts would definitely help us figure out how best to approach it.
Times change, and the music enjoyed by the youngsters of today is no doubt very different from the tunes I was accustomed to in my youth. Nevertheless, all fine things in life can be appreciated, and so I look forward to it immensely.
Hear, hear. I do believe that, my own dear grandmother aside, you are the wisest old lady I've ever met.
Goodness gracious, you're all being suspiciously sweet today. Yaoyao, whatever have you been feeding them?
Just the crisps.
Thanks, Madam Ping. We'll see you again soon.
You mustn't be afraid to try new things. If you never try, you'll never know. With your contribution, I'm sure this year's Lantern Rite will be a most spectacular one.
Wise words. Suddenly daytime.
Ganyu!
Paimon tells Ganyu all about Mr. Dvorak and his family history and okay.
It may be a little difficult to make this happen.
How come?
Well, the Lantern Rite is the most important festival of the year. Our celebrations must not only be visually spectacular, but also appeal to the tastes of Liyue citizens from all walks of life. The Iridescence Tour is relatively unknown in Liyue. It's difficult to predict how a brand new show will be received.
Never know unless you try.
Therefore, we will not replace or cancel any of our pre-existing program. However, I will submit a proposal requesting to put the Iridescence Tour special performance as the final act of this year's festivities. Some live music will certainly add to the festive atmosphere on the night of the Lantern Rite. As for the venue, let's reserve a space at the docks.
So we're not stealing anyone's thunder, but we will end the night out on a high note.
Mr. Dvorak, I will need to discuss with you the number of musicians who will be coming to Liyue, as well as their catering and accommodation requirements.
Oh, yes, certainly. Let's step to the side and discuss further.
Oh, perfect timing. We were just wrapping up our discussion here.
That was quick.
Yaoyao, thank you for bringing my herbs. I will make sure to take them.
Remember to make tea from them first, Ganyu. You mustn't just chew them raw.
I will.
Okay.
A literal ghost. Stay put and wait for... Imagine you actually have to wait 2 hours.
That lady I just talked to, Ganyu? She really thinks of everything.
Oh, that's Adepti for you. After a short wait, Keqing and Ganyu arrive at the square. Oh, hey, Keqing.
Greetings, traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak. Call me Keqing. Ganyu has brought me up to speed on everything. I'll get straight to the point. The Qixing have approved Ganyu's proposal. Over the next few days, I will be working with Mr. Dvorak on behalf of the Qixing to facilitate the organization of this concert.
Yay! That's awesome!
Unbelievably efficient, Keqing strikes again.
Please. The Qixing have a duty to deal with matters such as these. We have merely moved things forward to the next step. On a more personal note, I am an avid supporter of all things new and innovative. As such, it is my privilege to work with you on this exciting project.
Thank you so much, Keqing. I'd become quite discouraged after our recent failures and was expecting the same outcome once again, so I didn't dare to get my hopes up. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this going so smoothly. It's like a dream come true. Right. Time for me to call in the performers. To stage a concert at a high-profile event like this is a rare opportunity. We'll make sure it's a night to remember.
Yes! Our music band's finally getting fired up!
Let's go to Dvorak.
For a musician, music will always be the language they are most fluent in.
What about your ancestor? What about the fairy lady?
Oh, that. That can wait for another time.
Oh, they told me all about Mr. Dvorak's situation, but I was so engrossed in drafting the proposal that I forgot all about it.
Oh, that's quite all right. I don't even know what the person I'm trying to find looks like, so it was always going to be a long shot.
It was just that I had a few initial thoughts when I heard your story. For instance, I wonder if this lady your ancestor met might have been an Adeptus. What do you think?
It's definitely possible. We don't have enough information yet.
To tell you the truth, Mr. Dvorak, I am somewhat related to the Adepti myself. I am part human and part Qilin. The Qilin is an illuminated beast. I know how important your quest to get in touch with your roots must be to you, because I've been there myself before, trying to find out where I belonged.
Did you say the Adepti? And you're illuminated beast? Part Qilin? Are you telling me all the rumors of the Liyue Adepti are real? So it's not just artistic license?
You lot are not aware? Dang.
If it's a person you're looking for, then I just might be able to help.
I see. I think I understand the situation now. In that case, Ganyu, shall we divide the work between us?
Yes, that was also my thought.
Great. So Mr. Dvorak and I will concentrate on things here in the city to make sure the concert goes according to plan. In the meantime, Ganyu will reach out to our network and try to find the person he's looking for. How's your workload at the moment? Will you be able to make time?
I can probably get through everything in 2 days, as long as I don't sleep.
Even I know the importance of maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
In that case, 3 days.
Okay.
Imagine if we found the Adeptus lady, or one of her descendants, and got them to come to the performance. Wouldn't that be amazing?
You're right. Okay, I'm gonna pull out all the stops to make this Lantern Rite a true extravaganza.
Yeah, let's go. That's the spirit.
Mr. Dvorak, could you come with me to confirm the site?
Ooh, we're coming too!
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on music? What does it mean to you?
Music?
You shouldn't be asking Paimon this.
The question of what music means to people is one that I've been pondering for quite some time. Let's revisit this question after the concert.
Lady Yuhang?
Oh, Paimon.
Baiwen, what is it?
Per Lady Ningguang's orders, I've been gathering intelligence outside of the city with the goal of uncovering and dispatching any trouble ahead of the festival. I am told that a strange melody was heard somewhere along the coast. I was wary of investigating further on my own, so I was just on my way to report this incident to Lady Ningguang.
Is it Venti?
No.
Let us handle this one.
You're busy enough as it is. There's a ton of different things in the city that needs your attention.
Probably Venti.
No.
You have my thanks too. Stay safe and come back as soon as you're finished.
Good luck.
She said she'll reach out to the Yunhan Opera Troupe? I see. Then I'll arrange for a rehearsal venue and accommodation as soon as possible. Everything should be ready tonight.
Many thanks, Keqing. You know, I once heard someone from Liyue describe a person as swift as lightning and agile as the wind. At the time, I thought it was a curious expression, and I had a hard time piecing together a mental image of such a person. But now, having seen Keqing in action, I honestly can't think of any other way to describe it. It's such a vivid and expressive phrase, a testament to the richness of Liyue's culture.
You're too kind, Mr. Dvorak.
Paimon said the strange tune was coming from around here, right? But Paimon doesn't hear anything. There doesn't seem to be a soul in...
I was just wondering who in their right mind would come out to a place like this. So, it's you two.
Yelan, you know anything about the strange music?
Ah, you're here for that too? Saves me a bit of explaining. Come with me. I've already reconned the perimeter, so we should be safe.
Wait, who else could it be other than Venti,
The stuff by the door is in pretty good condition, though. It can't have been too long ago that someone was last living here. This place is completely empty. There's nothing valuable left here at all. The doors and windows are all fine, so there definitely wasn't a break-in. How strange. It looks like it's been looted, except for the fact that there's no sign of a struggle. The bad guys could have sneaked in while the owner was gone, but then how do you explain why the door and windows are intact?
Seems you've done a pretty thorough inspection. So, any theories on what might have happened here?
It's difficult to theorize with so little evidence. It must have been something to do with that melody.
Your instincts are pretty good. Or perhaps it's not instinct. The strange melody is one of the few pieces of information you have available, after all. Let me share a folk story with you. A long time ago, there used to be a group of bandits in the Liyue countryside who would sound a horn every time they were about to raid a village. But it wasn't a rallying cry to rouse their fellow men. It was a disconcerting tune, meant to intimidate the weak and warn them of their impending doom. To escape with their lives, the villagers would abandon their homes and flee overnight, taking only their most valuable belongings with them. Everything else was left behind. The bandits were eventually brought to justice, but the fear and trauma remained in the villagers' hearts. Whenever they heard that melody, they would feel like their lives were in danger once again, and flee immediately. The culprit of this crime exploited that very fear to get access to this house without having to force their way in. The victims obviously will have gotten quite a fright, but at least they won't be in any great danger. The important thing now is to find this copycat criminal. Unfortunately for them, I'm one of the best trackers in the business. They're not about to get away with their little scheme on my watch.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. The video cuts off here because of some apparent error I had with NVIDIA's game capture program. But don't worry, it's just for this little scene. We end up catching the criminal that's mimicking this kind of horn instrument to scare off the people in the house. And then we return the goods, yada yada yada. Yelan recommended that instead of the thief doing this to harm people, you know, maybe he has a skill for like playing the trumpet or something, yada yada. And then we go meet Ningguang, we talk about some event organizing stuff, and that's about it. But I saved the good part, and you guys definitely know what part it is, probably, if you're, you know, if you're a professional like me, I'm just saying. So, you know, here it is, for your viewing pleasure.
You helped a lot with the investigation and arrest anyway, so it's perfectly fair for you to get all the credit. Just take it. It works better for me, too.
Damn, man. What? Wait, you don't need to lean in that close. Wait. Jesus. Golly. Bro, I was shook.
Day 2.
Oh boy. Overtime. Gotta love it, huh?
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. What time is it? Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music. If that were all there was to it, it could have been many people, human or Adeptus. But the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man forgot about everything else, even his own impending death, and only came to his senses after being brought to shore.
I know the lady probably meant well, but like, she almost killed him.
If this part of the story is true, then the rescuer has to have been an Adeptus.
Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady looked.
Maybe they imagined her having wings. Maybe they gave her horns.
Ooh, like a crystal fly's wings? That would be pretty cool.
I would like that as a wind glider.
Actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning person, how would you go about it?
Well, I'd get them to the shore, and then I'd probably hide behind a tree and watch them for a while.
Bro?
Once I was sure that they were going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
So stealthy, so cute.
What if this Adeptus in the story had a similar attitude? That would explain why she just left without saying a word. She was probably thinking something like, one was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once. You may keep your thanks to yourself.
That was actually a very good impression of Cloud Retainer, Paimon. As far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most musically gifted. Still, we can't completely rule her out just yet. If we set off now, we could head to Mount Outsung and ask her about it.
And you know, fetch us another childhood story of Ganyu's while we're there, right?
Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. She's on her own so much of the time that the moment she has someone to chat with, she just
down to the bottom like a little ball.
Old people.
Let's set off for Cloud Retainer's abode.
A single harmony for an irreplaceable soul. I mean, hell, the last time we were there, we learned that Ganyu rolled down a hill.
A few moments.
Hey, Cloud Retainer, you want to share some more childhood stories of Ganyu with us?
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right? We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the story suggests, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
What are you suggesting, Paimon? I'm not drowning for this shit.
So, all we have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the water, and the Adeptus will come to the rescue!
You first, Paimon, you first.
You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim! Paimon would sink like a rock! Help! Help!
I'm under the water. Please help me.
Look. Okay. Who did? Who did it do? Someone cares
what
you,
is going
sure.
on?
Chat. No. Oh, Right. We didn't even say your name this time. Do you like me that much, Xiao? I'm flattered, but also, you're not the person I'm looking for. Oh.
How do you feel right now?
Okay. Well, this is awkward. Not the result I expected. Then again, you both like us so much, right? Hmm?
Shenhe, and the Conqueror of Demons.
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it.
No, I'm mute.
We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
It wasn't me.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Still very goddamn capable of them.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault.
What? Why was she like drifting off the screen there?
No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
You see, like she's just randomly shifting to that side.
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing, your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
Ah, you mean you, don't you?
As ever, the Conqueror of Demons comes and goes, just like the wind.
Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like.
I had planned to spend the festival with Master this year, however...
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer, when did you see her last?
Earlier this morning. She set off for Mount Hutao at dawn. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a gift for Mountain Shaper. I did not inquire.
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode.
Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that.
Yeah, it's a bit too formal. Just say Ganyu. Ganyu just doesn't want you to be too courteous around her. Ganyu gets embarrassed when people call her Lady Ganyu.
Oh, is that what it is? Noted.
The more you know.
Speaking of that, have you ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music? What is that?
What, you're telling me all these months you've spent in Liyue and you've never heard the term music?
It's... a kind of a happy or relaxing sound. Or, a nerve-wracking sound. Or even a terrifying one.
Okay, there's something wrong with Paimon's model. It keeps floating towards this direction. The only thing that stopped it was the Lumine model blocking it. Well, what's going on?
We were just talking about this thing called music. And based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day. Please follow me.
Oh, really? Great, let's go!
Where are we going? Follow Shenhe to her cultivation place. Cultivation, you say?
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
So, where's the music? You don't just mean the wind and the environment sounds, do you?
Anyway, where is this music?
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the music of which you speak?
Shenhe, that's ASMR.
Oh! What we're looking for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
And a melody is?
Go on, Paimon, sing us a nursery rhyme. Ganyu, why don't you sing that folk song you sing to glaze lilies?
Hey! knows plenty of nursery rhymes, but Paimon does not sing on demand without payment. Why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Alright, fingers crossed this won't attract any more flowers. Yo, Lumin dialogue. Oh no! This was the opera in her request.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yunjin sang?
Yes.
It felt like I was transported back to the past. In my mind's eye, I could see the Xiao lanterns lighting up the night sky again. We're all there, raising our glasses and drinking to our heart's content on the Jade Chamber. As I watched Yunjin's performance, I felt a warm sensation in my heart. And as the drink reached my stomach, it went from warm to hot. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole year ago came right back to me, as strong as they were on that day. So that's the power of music.
Wow, Shenhe. That was so deep! Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like a time capsule with all the special moments from our lives squished inside.
It's like every time I hear that one Mondstadt track, I forgot what it's called, but... I don't know, it makes me feel really nostalgic. Hell, imagine me hearing that in like 2 years or something. Might as well go cry there. Qing's Village's OST is also superb.
I know some local folk songs, and a few other things come to mind too. The songs of the sailors down at the docks. The little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops. The tunes of folk artists performing on the streets.
All the sounds of Liyue Harbor.
Yes, that's right. The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell, when it comes down to the most common things that we see and experience around us each day in the city,
it's not that much difference.
In that sense, we're all the same.
Once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home in the city. Please invite Keqing as well. I've planted many types of flowers. I'm sure some of them will be to your taste.
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that illuminated bird?
I doubt Keqing will be munching on any flowers.
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Hi, good to see you again.
Master.
Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph. Now she has the goal to use it rather than she.
Paimon, you're really pushing it here.
Chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights.
It's been a year.
Very well. If you refuse to learn your lesson, one shall scold you no further. One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
Yes, please, Cloud Retainer. Imagine it was Venti. I'm only saying this because Venti looks awfully like a girl. I thought he was a girl when I first played the game, so as I thought about Xingqiu as well. I was like, she's cute. He?
Whaley Plains? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of her?
I've definitely heard it somewhere. Zhongli's lover.
Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. She was extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings and inventions alike.
What, you're saying it's Guizhong?
Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart. Though usually a mild-mannered fellow, when it came to those collectibles he was so fond of, he always loved to show them off.
Look at my limited edition, yada yada yada.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations.
I think she's like the most inventive out of all of them.
As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Sea Gazer. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one—
Hey, finders keepers.
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics. On some occasions, she would join in, and on others, she'd take one of us by the limb and start uttering the most ridiculous nonsense.
The limb? Well, like grab their neck? Stop arguing, you birds! Shaking their long necks.
She always sought to make everyone happy, and one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense she said, one never felt bothered or offended. It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or ladybird.
Hey, don't look at me, that's Paimon.
Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time? We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of them would appear to the eye as a veritable sea of flowers.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's story?
Long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone, and evoke much sorrow. No matter, one will share the whole story with you now. In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles.
Oh, we're gonna see what she looks like?
Ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creation.
Wait, that looks like that one Honkai character.
Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts.
Bro, people are gonna draw about that now.
As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell.
We know how they both look like.
In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers,
Cloud Retainer's human form,
were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul. An emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use.
Oh, that outfit too! Oh my god!
One would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili plains.
The Yaksha.
Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle.
When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body.
She sacrificed herself?
After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes.
Oh yeah, enough that Madame Ping has aged so much
Upon
now.
what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything.
We even get to hear her.
We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti?
It might even be the same voice actor.
Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
Yeah, it is. It probably is. Just like it's made to sound like slightly
Has
younger.
always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetwood Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetwood Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetwood Rambler heard that a certain Zhongli wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting, but Streetwood Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No, each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it.
Preserve her memory.
The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetwood Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition? Once upon a time, Streetwood Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetwood Rambler.
Madame Ping saved her? Saved him?
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
Pretty sure it reminds her of Guizhong or something.
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why she would retire the tune after having spent so long on it. In response, she said, though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?
Aw, poor Madame Ping.
Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler.
Well, we know who to thank.
Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
Plus, she's old. She's elderly now.
Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone. But there is always much that can still be gained, though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit. Life goes on, because there are new friends waiting for you further down the road.
Ganyu's right.
When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform? Maybe we can even get her up on stage.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
If nothing else, do it for Ganyu. Do it as a favor from me.
The edibles she brought this time were indeed quite delectable.
Come on.
Very well.
Let's
then
go.
One will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
Whoa! Madame Ping and Cloud Retainer?
Retainer and Rambler.
Bless my soul. To what do I owe the honor? How nice of you all to come and visit me.
Street word. Or rather, presumably, you would prefer to be addressed as Ping?
Oh, Cloud Retainer, you are uncommonly polite today.
It's probably been quite a while since you two met up.
Given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather in the city is most pleasant, and a sweet floral fragrance lingers in the air. Ganyu, please continue from here.
You just said a whole lot of nothing. Alright. The mic's on you, Ganyu. Ganyu recounts the story to Madame Ping.
Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and rescued the drowning man was none other than yourself.
Let me think. Yes, I do believe I recall that encounter. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still remember it. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her. Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today, she was as much a hero as any other.
So how has she proven herself right again exactly?
Once upon a time, she said to me that humans were a weak form of life that she wished to protect with her wisdom. But as she interacted more and more with them, her opinions on them began to change. She marveled at the beautiful complexity of their spirits, the sheer splendor of all they could accomplish through their hard work and intelligence.
Yeah, we don't have hundreds and hundreds of years in our lifespan, so...
She told us that to underestimate human potential would be to make a grave mistake.
Gotta make the best of what we have.
With the smallest amount of guidance, enormous power can be unleashed in them, and a human who has reached their full potential may well be her equal. Someone who could have as much to teach an Adeptus as to learn from them.
She always had a way with words. That her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was, one suspects, in large part due to her sheer eloquence.
When I see the sight of Liyue Harbor before us today, I am reminded of this.
It is quite pretty.
Madame Ping looks very emotional right now.
Well, she's been through a lot in her time.
Of all of us, it was Guizhong who was the fondest of these grand and exciting occasions. If she were still with us, I'm quite sure she would still be trying to best Cloud Retainer's finest works at every opportunity.
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were here, one is certain that she would seek you out to discuss and debate the virtues of various melodies.
Oh, yeah! Music! We've been dying to ask. What was the melody that you played back then? Oh, also, with you being such a music expert and all, why don't you join the concert as a performer?
2 very big, requests.
Oh. As much as I don't wish to dampen your enthusiasm, it's been a long time since I played this zither. My fingers don't have the dexterity they once did, and whenever I play that tune, it always reminds me of her. I start wondering what she would think of the changes I have made to her melody. There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again, sitting right there on the stone stool next to me, chatting away. Skybracer and Seagazer too, looking just like they did in the old days. No matter how much time goes by, the moment that melody starts playing, it transports me right back to that time in my memory.
So the past still weighs heavily on your heart?
Oh, I would be lying to myself if I claimed to have completely moved on. But that is not to say that grief doesn't get easier with time. Despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me joy in life. It is simply the nature of the world in which we live that even if one wished to mourn for an eternity, it would be a nigh impossible feat. Just look at this potted plant. Isn't it stunning?
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer grief. You have indeed made progress.
Oh, the elder the wiser.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern rite stage to the youth of today.
That's a shame, but I get why though.
Granny!
Yanfei!
Whoa, what's everyone doing here? Did something bad happen?
Haven't seen you since, Perilous Trails.
And now we've spooked Yanfei. No. Everyone's just here to give me their regards for the holiday.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad. Well, in that case, happy Lantern Rite, everyone.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remembered that I have some, work to do at Yuehai Pavilion that I need to discuss with Yanfei. I haven't been able to find a chance until now.
Huh? Does it have to be right now? Which case is this again?
Yeah, there is no case.
It seems Ganyu still has much to learn when it comes to the art of deception.
Your skill of the cap needs work.
What a pity. She has learned nothing of one's ability to carry a conversation.
You don't know how to carry a conversation.
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay? I'll make a cup of tea and we can chat a while.
Gladly. This was one's intention as well.
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards. I'd like to wish him the very best with the concert.
You got it, Madam Ping.
Thank you all. I think you've listened to enough of my nattering for one day. As for that melody, I will play it for you all another time. Goodness knows I need to practice it first.
Wow, that'd be great. We'll look forward to it.
When that time comes, wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains of sand and specks of dust between the harbor and the mountains, perhaps she will look at the Liyue of today and steal a smile when she sees the prosperous land that it has become.
Ping, what say you to convening more often in the future?
That would be quite wonderful. But I must say, after all this time, I've grown quite accustomed to the harbor. When we are to meet, I shall have to trouble you to make the journey.
Don't make her climb up a mountain.
You sound just like Shenhe. The child is constantly telling one all sorts of stories from the city, as if one was partial to them.
Have you ever considered moving to the city, Cloud Retainer? There are plenty of people here to talk to. I think you would find it quite the antidote to the monotony of solitude. And if you looked around, I suspect you would find some young minds with an interest in the mechanical arts. Some of them even worth training.
We shall see.
Dvorak.
Mr. Dvorak! And Keqing's here too! Thanks for helping set all of this up.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Really, really well. We found the person Mr. Dvorak was looking for.
Are you serious?
Yes. You recount the true story of the fairy lady to Keqing and Dvorak.
I see. So the melody my ancestor heard was an Adeptus remembering her late friend? That certainly explains why it was such a powerful and poignant tune. I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy from the tale is now an elderly granny.
Streetward Rambler, or Madam Ping as we know her, probably only became old because it's what she wanted for herself.
I think... yes. I must thank her in person. That can wait until after the concert, though. For now, I need to devote all my emotional energy to the performance.
Speaking of, Madam Ping wishes you all the best at the music festival. Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that she'll stay in her usual spot, but listen to the performances from afar.
Wait, are you serious? Oh no, now I'm starting to get nervous.
Relax, just treat it like any other performance.
Okay, alright. Nope, another rehearsal is in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
If you think so, yeah, go ahead.
Before we set off on our search with Ganyu, he asked us about what music means to people. After our recent adventure, Paimon thinks we have a lot more to say about that now. We found out that music can be used for good, but also for bad. It can make people happy and moved, but it can also be sad and bittersweet. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's hearts. It can put you in touch with feelings from a totally different time and place.
Pretty much, though there was more to it than that. That was a broad summary, but not the most detailed.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip. Don't worry, I'm sure Ganyu will fill me in on all the details shortly. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our efforts are worthwhile.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
See ya.
Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. What was it? Oh, it feels like it was a while ago. Shoot! Latent... Wait.
Bamboozle soup.
Fancy bamboo shoots.
Bamboozle soup.
Zhongli said he wasn't in a hurry, so if we went now, there's probably still time, right?
Wait, it took us 2 days to get the bamboo shoots. I just realized. Sorry, my guy Zhongli. I love you, bro. Don't be mad at me. Yanjian Hutao. Oh lord, you're gonna be performing, sounds like.
All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
No, move aside.
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight? Okay.
You're freaking me out a little. Wow. That was rapping, she was just... That was not rapping.
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to mention we have several invisible audience members enthusiastically cheering us on. It's the perfect spot to rehearse.
Invisible audience members?
Ghosts.
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but a giant frog with sharp teeth.
Come on, knock it off.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Shenyan's chorus and Yunjin as our mentor will take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
Ooh, heck yeah!
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore! Oh, now Paimon's rhyming along. But when you say flames roaring, are you sure this'll be safe?
No, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage, and I've already informed the Yuhong of all the pyrotechnics we're planning on using.
I don't know what they were thinking when they decided on Xinyan's accents. It's kind of odd, but like now I can't really hear her without it. Don't worry about that.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for the mountains. Said he wanted to pay a visit to some old friends.
We were just there, god damn it!
Matter of fact, he was the one who first invited me to perform here. To tell the truth, though, I never thought I'd really find myself rehearsing here one day.
Well, now you know. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor is a great location. All of you are always welcome to come and hang out here, especially if you're in the mood to try something new.
I can speak to that. Hutao is always full of fun surprises.
And jump scares.
Traveler and Paimon, I believe Zhongli was heading to Mount Hulao, so make sure you're hiking up the right hill. You should join us too. It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from being a funeral director, it's how to throw a party.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with... Funeral and party does not go together.
Paimon sees them! It's illuminated deer and illuminated bird number 2!
Jesus. Greetings, everyone. Long time no see.
A familiar face. Have you come from Liyue Harbor? How is the city nowadays?
How long has it been since we've seen these guys?
Everything's great! But you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and check it out for yourself.
Human forms, please.
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tianheng in recent times. I believe the sights of the city are quite familiar to him.
Sorry about the bamboo.
We've brought the bamboo shoots you wanted.
2 days later.
Impeccable timing.
It only puts the nation's bamboo shoots in the cooking time and Mooncarver. Okay.
Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is something of a shortcut. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her...
Oh, we did this last time too.
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon doesn't go changing the name willy-nilly.
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during your recent journey?
Yes.
Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. Our journey should be seen as a means to take on more from the world around us. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some for yourself.
Of course.
Oh, Zhongli! Hutao told us to tell you something. She said, it's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No excuses. As for the banquet, she didn't tell us anything more about that, but she invited us to come as well.
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give Director Who my best wishes for the performance. As for the banquet, since the director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll see you there?
Absolutely. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
Had one known that Cloud Retainer was in possession of such eminently useful devices, one would have sought to borrow one from her long ago.
And yet, since you share my lack of enthusiasm for mechanisms and fine dining, it would have become a mere decorative ornament in your abode.
Not so. Had one had such a device to make up for one's lack of culinary prowess, Shenhe would not have had to rely on flowers and herbs alone for sustenance while under one's care.
In that case, shall we rendezvous with Cloud Retainer one day soon and request to borrow one more Supreme Cuisine machine?
A fine idea. A fine idea indeed.
I intend to reminisce with my old friends for a while longer. You ought to get back to Liyue Harbor. There is a performance you do not want to miss.
You still haven't seen Venti. Don't you be clickbaiting me now. Suddenly, it's nighttime.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage.
Finally!
Alright, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hutao, and this is a little something called...
Oh lord.
The Flame Lilies!
I mean, it's a little small for a performance, but you know.
I'm up here blazing trails through the midnight sky, lighting up the world below. And when the crowds all hear my voice, they'll meet the spirit of rock.
Oh shit, she can sing though.
Let's go! Hey you, butterfly, you too buzzing by, guiding your way to the afterlife, opening the path without a fright. Oh, I'll light the fire, watch it blaze across the universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch your step, or you'll get burned. Hey, woo!
Hey, you get front.
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
Captain and the
Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Xiao, you're... Come on, relax a bit. Celebration time. Ah, look at that. Ah, it's beautiful.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Where's Venti? I'm just saying, where's Venti? I still have not seen my guy, by the way.
Master, the Xiao lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Xiao lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor
Okay.
to display its magnificence for all.
Alright, flex all you want. Ah, look at that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Listen, that must be Madame Ping!
She's playing it! She's actually playing it! We're not done, are we? Where's Venti? Epilogue. Yeah, I knew there had to be more.
Okay, now I need to get a move on and write my next song.
Listen to you. You only just fulfilled one lifetime dream. Are you really thinking about your next goal already?
Don't try to tell me you ain't the same way. I bet you've already thought up a name for your next opera, haven't you?
You know me too well, Xinyan. The Adeptus Seeking Voyage. How does that sound?
Oh, man! Yeah, I can already picture it.
I've also got just the finishing line for it. I'll close with, and the celestial melody echoed through the clouds forevermore.
They're doing this thing again. Oh, it's gonna feel so weird after there's Dvorak.
Magnificent! Absolutely magnificent.
You mean the show?
Yes. When I heard the music coming from up in the clouds, I was so stunned I could barely think or move. I felt like it had a special kind of hold over me. Or maybe it was the adeptal power within the music. And the ensemble at the end was truly sublime. I felt like I would have started to cry if I hadn't been one of the performers on the stage.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, Lady Ningguang, the Tianquan of the Liyue Qixing, has invited me to visit her again at Yujing Terrace to discuss a long-term collaboration plan. I do hope everything goes well and that we have more opportunities to collaborate in the future. The next time we have another performance, you'll have to come. I will save the best seat for you.
It's actually brilliant how like they chose to pick him for the role. I'm so happy they did. About the fairy lady.
I've already given her my thanks in person. This is what she said. It is only natural to lend a hand when we see someone in distress. The wonderful music you brought to Liyue is worth far more than gratitude. Truly, I felt so honored. But I've also made a decision for myself. I will strive to create even more wonderful, original music for this era. Our era.
That line felt like it came from his heart too. Like himself as Macro. This is beautiful. That cutscene was beautiful as well.
The Lantern Rite celebrations are getting better by the year. Such wonderful music.
Dr. Baiju, I've brought the herbs. Who are they for?
The singers. Performing at a music festival is very demanding. Using these herbs in good time will protect their voices from damage.
Oh, that's
they gotta hit them high notes.
Preparing them all night.
I dared not neglect the Yuheng's request. Her messenger was quite insistent that it should take top priority. Let me double check again. This one is for...
I feel like this Lantern Rite is slightly shorter than the one we had before, but hey, we still have an epilogue to go. I was more like referring to like the main storyline. I don't believe we had an epilogue last time.
The next day,
we arrive at the epilogue.
Oh, so that's how it is. Thanks for the suggestions, Mr. Zhongli. I have them all noted down.
He's speaking in Le Wise again.
I've long heard that your knowledge encompasses all things old and new, Mr. Zhongli. But I never knew that you were well versed in the art of cooking too.
It's like those gatherings where like this one old kid who's like barely almost an adult but like barely there, so he gets seated at the kids' table with a bunch of 12-year-olds.
It is truly an honor to make your acquaintance.
No need for formalities. I too feel humbled to be in the company of such talented young people. There are many things I could learn from you.
Oh, you flatter us. If it's possible, may I trouble you to provide a few words of guidance for my practices in exorcism?
He knows them all.
Exorcism? I can't say I'm an expert in the field, but if you don't mind, we could start by discussing...
We're here, by the way. Hello. Half the table's missing, Paimon. We haven't seen Shincho since he was in the Iridori Festival. Chunyun, I don't think we saw him in 2.4's Archon Quest. So we haven't seen him since his hangout in Xiangling Moon Chase, I'm pretty sure.
Lantern Rite, everyone!
Happy Lantern Rite.
Likewise. Please take a seat.
Happy Lantern Rite! Are you having fun?
I'm learning a lot. I've become musically cultured.
Me too. I've seen Xinyan perform before, but this is the first time I've watched something like this. I heard that the audience loved it too, and she's been receiving quite a lot of performance invitations lately. She's more busy than ever, and Yoonjin's gonna help her.
Gotta thank Dvorak too, just saying.
Yep, and they asked us to pass on their season's greetings to everyone. They hope we'll have a wonderful gathering.
The performance was spectacular indeed. However, it gave Xiangling a huge burst of inspiration, which in turn gave us a bit of a headache.
The inspiration that turned into food. Also, sorry if I look a little tired, because I literally am. I was editing the whole Desert World quest yesterday, and whew.
Hold on, Xiangling came up with a new recipe? Let Paimon try! See, someone here knows how to encourage people. Thanks, Paimon.
Since we'll be dining together, the topic of our conversation naturally revolved around cooking. Xiangling's ideas are truly unconventional. Her choices in both ingredients and spices are comparable to a melody dancing on the tongue.
Yeah, you can say
My suggestions were nothing more than the icing on the cake.
Oh, the two of you always deliver. Now I'm getting embarrassed. Anyway, I'll get everyone to have a taste after I've adjusted the recipe based on Mr. Zhongli's advice.
That sounds like it might become a little safer to eat.
How about I sample the dishes next time?
The director went to collect a guest. She asked me to stay here and host you for the time being.
Guests. This is a monumental occasion.
Ta-da! We're here! Oh, we're not late to the party, right? Right? Good thing the Conqueror of Demons and I are both as swift as the wind. And whoosh, we made it just in time.
Okay, he's not here yet. Also, did you have a plate of almond tofu lying around? How did you get him to come down? Nani? Nani? Nani?
Oh.
Hi, son.
I see. So the important guest is the Conqueror of Demons. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Mr. Zhongli, I brought your son to dinner.
The director didn't mention anything when she invited us. What a pleasant surprise. Gathered here with us tonight are not only young and accomplished individuals, but also the protector of Leo's peace, Adeptus Alatus. To convene here with all of you is indeed a great honor.
Hutao, this isn't what you promised me. What the fuck? Flashback?
It's almost lantern right. Yet you took all the trouble coming here.
The director has a way of making it difficult to decline.
Rex Lapis, may I ask what troubles you?
The director asked me to buy sesame oil in preparation for the celebrations.
Huh. Then why would you come all the way to Wangshu Inn?
I wanted to see my son.
I had a pleasant chat with Chef Yanxiao and received some spices from him. And, see? Here's some matsutake and a portion of ham.
What about the sesame oil?
It's a shame. I couldn't find the kind the director was looking for.
So I just came and had a meal. Why was that?
I'm sure you're exaggerating, Zhong... Sir.
Why was that relevant?
Everyone here today is well known in their own field and has probably heard about one another to some extent. Some of us are even old acquaintances. I heard that the Conqueror of Demons and the Traveler are pretty close, no?
We're old friends.
Great. You two sit together.
Our boy Xiao gets friend-zoned. The delicious-looking food arrives and a pleasant scent fills the air.
Paimon would have never guessed the person Hutao went to fetch was Xiao.
Why do these go so quick? You clearly know we don't read that fast.
That's also the first I've heard of the Traveler and Paimon being friends with the Conqueror of Demons.
Well, dang. Well, they don't know we befriended their Archon, too. Hey, by the way, Morax is sitting to the right of you right now, Chongyun.
You know Xiao Chu?
Knowing is a bit of an overstatement. I've always looked up to him.
A fanboy.
You might not know this, Paimon, but we exorcists have worked in close collaboration with the Conqueror of Demons for many generations, dispelling evil together, both in the open and from the shadows. Hard to imagine that thanks to Hutao, I've finally gotten the chance to meet him. Conqueror of Demons, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
It is a great honor indeed to have a chance to meet the legendary Conqueror of Demons. Chongyun has brought that name up quite a few times in the past. I remember you mentioning wanting him to understand the importance of exorcists.
We know each other too.
Right, Moon Chase.
He helped try my dishes during the Masterful Chef's cook-off. I didn't think we'd have the chance to meet again. Happy Lantern Rite.
No anecdote, however, compares to meeting you in person. I'm Xingqiu, Zhongli and Chongyun's friend. The pleasure is all mine.
Everyone's getting all formal and polite all of a sudden. Paimon doesn't know what she should say anymore. Adepti Xiao, mighty conqueror of demons. Please accept Paimon's greetings too. Belated Happy Lantern Rite.
Belated isn't the right word to use here.
Paimon tried very hard to look for a fancy word, okay? Don't be too harsh on Paimon!
There's no need to be so polite.
You're right. This was meant to be a nice little get-together between friends after all. Too much formality kills the atmosphere.
What's your true intention then?
A little get-together between friends, sipping the finest tea and watching lanterns float into the sky, bidding farewell to the past and embracing the present with joy. And that is something our consultant would say. I think it deserves a standing ovation.
Indeed, exceptional acting skills, Director.
As for me, I'm just here to have fun and treat everyone to something good. We all worked really hard this year, whether traveling or guiding, cooking, helping with the family business, exorcising evil spirits, or conquering demons. And of course, our consultant, who's been helping out at the parlor every now and then. Everyone has done some pretty amazing things. As the one who brought everyone together, it goes without saying that I'm the one most deserving of praise.
Huh? Sounds kinda self-important, but Paimon thinks it's pretty amazing that she managed to talk Xiao into coming. He rarely ever enters Liyue Harbor after all.
Flashback.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, boss lady.
It's not boss lady, just boss. And there she goes. What a lively girl.
Conqueror of demons, Adepti Xiao, guardian of Wangshu Inn, hero of Dihua Marsh.
Good lord.
I know you're there.
He's probably just got so annoyed that he decided to show up.
Quiet. Do not disturb the peace.
Sorry, but you wouldn't show up if I didn't yell your name, would you?
You're the 77th director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Is there something you need?
Just a nice invitation to, a dinner.
Did the Conqueror of Demons agree to come so that Hutao would stop pestering him?
There might be other reasons.
Smart guess.
In the time of the Archon War, disputes were frequent, and disaster overtook the land. Humans couldn't escape from the torment of the plague, nor could they escape death. The Adepti vanquished the demons, the Millelith fought valiantly, and Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was responsible for purifying the diseased and sending off the spirits of the dead.
Bosacious.
That is how the border between life and death was maintained during the war, and it effectively prevented further incidents from happening.
That's right. 1 point for the consultant. But despite our deep-rooted connection, it still took me quite a while to actually convince him.
Was he worried about his karma?
This matter is out of my control, so I need to be cautious.
True, but I've kept that in mind too. That's why everyone here today is in one way or another acquainted with elemental power.
Right, that the way. No one gets harmed, no one gets hurt. No karma is spread.
It'll only be for a short while as we dine together. There won't be any lasting consequences.
But I didn't expect there to be so many people.
There's no need to worry, Conqueror of Demons. We're not feeling anything unusual so far. Our young exorcist over here is protected by his pure yang energy, so he's probably the most resilient.
That's not the same. And did you just toss your carrots into my bowl? Hey, don't look away.
Huh? What?
I'm siding with Chongyun. I saw that too.
What are you, 5? You seem pretty quiet today. Is everything okay? Not used to being around so many people.
I'm doing fine. Not long ago, before Lantern Rite, I met an old friend. Thanks to his help, things have been a lot more stable than before.
An old friend?
You should know him. He's
he's right here.
Seeds of story, brought by the wind.
Are you trying to make an entrance?
And cultivated by time. Did Paimon just unconsciously complete that saying?
The door to the restaurant gets blown open by a gust of wind again.
You finally let me in. Hello, hello. No matter if we've met before or not, this moment marks a brand new encounter. Old friends and new, happy Lantern Rite.
What the hell?
Oh, it's the tone-deaf bard.
Oh, he seems to carry a valiant breeze wherever he goes. It looks like we're gonna be friends. Fate has brought us together, so come on, take a seat and be my guest. Help yourself. Oh, I'll ask them for another set of cutlery.
This young lady here is as bright as a fresh bouquet of flowers in the morning's rising sun. She no doubt is the one with the most authority here. Whoa, these dishes look amazing. Is it really okay for me to join in? All right, I'm digging in.
Huh, it's you.
Ah, yeah, you've met at Iridori.
Oh, isn't this Ganyu?
Ganyu?
He's gonna give Xingqiu's pen name away.
Yep. Now that I've taken a closer look,
Great
you're
save.
a fan of Genyu's works, aren't you? I met Xingqiu at a light novel convention. How I wish we'd met sooner. I never expected that there'd be another person in this world who could interpret Genyu's new novel as thoroughly as I could.
Venti, you're being too humble. Considering your poetic talent, your fundamentals are way more impressive.
Could this new guest be Master Xingqiu's friend?
What's that look, Venti? What are you planning? What the
Xiao, you remember me too, right? We had a chat not long ago.
Yes. Monsters become more active than usual as we get closer to Lantern Rite. I was patrolling Dihua Marsh a few days ago when I happened to run into this.
You've already forgotten? I'm a bard, remember? And bards go around singing wherever they like.
Oh, right. And this bard was performing in Dihua Marsh. It was a moving melody, and it made me feel relaxed and at ease. I couldn't help but stay and listen.
Thank you for your patronage.
The Dihua flute, maybe? So that's how it was, I see.
I understand now, too. I'm Zhongli, currently working at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. It's a pleasure to meet you, new friend.
Stop the cap.
And I'm his boss. Oh, and if there's anything unsatisfactory, let me know anytime.
That's very considerate of you.
Oh? No wonder. Only a boss as savvy and reliable as you would be able to hire such an impressive consultant.
Oh, you're too nice, Venti. Not to brag, but our consultant truly is impressive. His knowledge extends across the stars and the land, and there's
She had to
nothing
walk
throughout
over here and
history that he doesn't
show
know.
off.
From the sophisticated way he speaks, it's hard not to suspect that he could very well be an Adeptus in disguise. Xiao, you're an Adeptus. Do you think it might be possible?
Sorry. I'm only good at conquering demons. I'm afraid I don't have much knowledge in that matter.
Really? But Paimon thinks you're super knowledgeable.
Paimon, play along.
I've actually heard a few things about Mr. Zhongli before. The guests in the tavern talked about this refined and courteous man who, instead of having wine at Mondstadt's finest tavern, ordered a cup of hot tea with the most complex name.
Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that there indeed is a musician like yourself in Mondstadt. I've heard that he's elegant and amiable, his works witty and vibrant. It's no overstatement to regard him as the best bard in Mondstadt.
Now you're making me embarrassed. I would say that Mondstadt's poetry is a little run-of-the-mill sometimes. There's one I heard a while back that went, The old house is renewed, welcoming the spring breeze, awakening old memories. The meaning's there, but the word choices are unimaginative, and there's a distinct lack of literary flair.
I think so too. The composition needs a little jazzing up.
Hutao, just sit down.
You have great taste, Venti. I was right about you. Let's shake hands.
Of course, of course.
Paimon, watch and learn from Hutao and Venti. This will come in handy for your ugly nicknames.
Oh, you have a point.
I heard that Liyue will be hosting a Lantern Rite music festival this year. As a musician myself, how could I possibly resist the temptation to come take a look? Or listen. Getting to know other musical styles is essential to sparking inspiration, don't you think?
But the music festival wasn't planned beforehand.
As for the Fontaine friend who hosted the festival, I saw him near Stone Gate the other day. The Iridescence tour has finally been held successfully for once, so I had to congratulate him.
Thank you. He must be very grateful.
I was watching as you entered Xinyan kiosk, but no one seemed to notice me. Should I say that it's because I'm an expert in hiding, or that a certain someone deliberately ignored the sound of the wind?
People are all busy watching the lanterns and strolling around the shops, and they might just go travel somewhere on a whim. It is rather difficult to predict another's whereabouts. The festival is in full swing and proceeding smoothly, and we're all gathered here with friends new and old. This is no doubt a wonderful occasion worth celebrating. To come together with all of you at the beginning of the year, one can't help but be filled with joy. In a moment like this, I propose we raise a glass together. In my case, tea in lieu of wine.
You don't do alcohol?
Very well said, Mr. Zhongli. That was exactly what I wanted to say.
Considering that everyone may have other matters to attend to later, sticking to tea seems like a good idea. All of a sudden, they started proposing toasts. Should we?
Xiao.
What's with the urgency?
Are you done eating? Want to head out for a walk? I ate too much. Could you come take a walk with me?
Sure.
It's always nice to have a breath of fresh air after a meal. Helps with digestion. Paimon will come too.
You still hungry, right?
Yeah?
Don't worry, we'll be back soon.
Okay then. Don't forget to come back.
It seems like our new friend is an expert in wine.
I deserve no such praise. I only drink for fun. It's nothing compared to your expertise. I'm glad we're only having tea today. What if I got drunk and said something nonsensical? I'd surely become an object of ridicule to someone I've just met.
No such thing. I wouldn't dare disrespect the director's guest.
I want to hear him address Venti as Barbatos, and Venti to Zhongli as Morax.
Mr. Zhongli told us that he went on a trip to Yaoyao village the other day and got a hold of some uncommon ingredients. Tea seed oil and sesame oil. He suggested I try using those in my new dishes. Oh, no wonder he left his post for so long that day. Those ingredients would be difficult for anyone else to find. I guess I'll need his help next time as well.
About you and Venti. Could he be a partner in your family business?
That's right. You know how my family is. A lot of business secrets can't just be divulged at the dinner table.
Ah, just as I thought.
You're not allowed to leave Paimon here alone. To be honest, Paimon's worried about saying the wrong thing.
Oh shit, Paimon actually doesn't... Huh. Xiao.
Are you alright?
I should be the one asking you that.
It's hard to describe.
Unfamiliar with gatherings like this.
It's not that. There were those among the Adepti who loved gatherings and idle chit-chat. Sometimes they would call up a few others for a drink. Even I got dragged along to their gatherings many times. The Adepti all have their specialties, making most of them proud and arrogant. Everything they say is straight from the heart. It never gets too complicated. But this time...
I understand. It's all Zhongli's fault. I understand it's all Venti's fault.
No. I didn't mean that. So you know his true identity. I'll get straight to the point then. The Animo Archon is a free spirit, and his temperament is as carefree as the music he plays on the flute. It's easy for a god like him to live in harmony with humans. And that's something I might never be able to do.
You don't have to be like him. You do you.
That does sound like something you would say.
My boy needs a hug. Go hug him, Lumine.
No matter. I know my circumstances. Whenever I think of the ordinary conversations I've had with you, it feels strangely novel.
Strange in the good way?
Yes, the parlor director went out of her way with the invitation, so it was difficult to turn her down. I had made mental preparations before agreeing to come. She told me that all the guests today would be acquainted with elemental power, and I knew that you would be here. But I didn't expect the other guests to be...
No one would have guessed.
General Capisis always said that we should live in the present and enjoy every pleasant surprise. Perhaps that's what I should do with what I'm feeling now. But I think he meant designing clothes for those around him. The clothes were intricately designed, but inconvenient to wear. Brother Bosacius never tried to hide his distaste in front of him.
It's the Geo-yaksha.
Rex Lapis did like his designs and even collected quite a few. The outfit he wears now was also designed by General Capisis himself.
Well, I can see the resemblance, definitely.
I never saw him wear this during the war. I didn't expect him to start wearing it later.
Oh, here you are! Hutao saw that everyone's done eating and asked the staff to bring out the desserts. Paimon got so anxious that you weren't back yet that she scarfed down her dessert without the usual slurping and munching.
Not so anxious that she can't eat. Sounds like she'll be okay.
To be honest, I was kind of worried too. You looked a little restless just now, and I thought you weren't used to the food here and was planning to head back to Wangshu Inn for something Xiao made.
You're worrying too much.
Shall don't pull any static wind cyclings on us.
Please wait! There's another reason why I came looking for you. Here, take these. I brought them for you.
Almond tofu?
Oh, good.
I'll be honest. Before Hutao invited everyone, she secretly came looking for me, told me about the guests she planned to invite, and asked me for some suggestions on what she should order. So I made a few servings of almond tofu for you guys in advance. Take them as a token of gratitude for your support.
Gladly.
When I told Guoba that I was making these for you, he started eagerly running around the kitchen and helping a lot too.
Thank you, Shelling and Guoba.
Thank you for the trouble. There was no need to... I'll take them. Thank you. And Guoba too.
You're welcome. Oh, the almond tofu I made probably tastes and feels a little different from the type Xiao cooks. Please let me know if there's any improvements I should make.
Okay.
You're finally done whispering secrets to each other? So much for promising Paimon you'll be back soon.
You're pretty quick. You're only angry because you had no sense of time.
How could you say that to Paimon? In that case, besides having no sense of time, Paimon will let you know what having no sense of fullness looks like. Your dessert is all Paimon's.
Hey, go ahead.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
I got ignored.
But even though we're all well acquainted by now, I think this festive gathering deserves something ceremonious.
Oh? Is this some local custom?
This is something I made up so that good luck will be on our side, that's all. Spontaneity is the best choice to make here. Let's use this incense burner on the table. It's been lit for so long now that the incense is running out. I'll leave refilling and lighting the incense to the most distinguished guest among us all.
Just realized we're all medium height. Zhongli's the only tall
Lighting
man.
the incense will signify continuous growth and prosperity in all our endeavors in the new year.
I see. Perfect symbolism, as expected of Hutao. And speaking of the most distinguished guest here today, I'm sure we all agree that it's Mr. Zhongli.
Dang.
Objection!
I'm not
That
very
angle.
familiar with the details of his past deeds, but chatting with him has been a real eye-opener, even for a bard who has traveled all across the world. If knowledge were a form of power, one could even say that you're a wielder of unlimited strength.
But when it comes to having a way with words, the notable bard is certainly one cut above the rest. I just happen to have a good memory. It is such an unexceptional skill, yet you made it sound like an unparalleled talent. I am truly impressed. Since we all get to nominate someone, I think it's only fair that we let the parlor director light the incense.
Huh? That won't do. Don't flatter me just because I'm your boss. We are looking for the most distinguished guest here. As the host, I shouldn't be involved in this discussion at all.
I'll do it.
Now that we've enjoyed this table full of delicacies, how about we let our one and only chef here do the honors?
Yeah, it's gonna get pushed onto either me or Xiao.
Is this really the way this works? I didn't cook any of these dishes. It's not a big deal. Just look at her. Xiangling, the disciple of Adeptus, the stove god's best companion, the winner of the Masterful Chef's competition, the only heir of the famous One Mean restaurant. A good old friend of mine.
Oh my.
There's no better choice. Why does Paimon feel like we're back at square one again?
We're back at negative.
Please stop! You're making me embarrassed. If we're looking for a distinguished guest, surely the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild counts. Huh? It's one of the largest commerce guilds in Liyue Harbor.
Everyone's just pushing it to everyone.
In this? Oh, not a bad choice. With the Commerce Guild's young master lighting the incense, we're all sure to make a huge sum of mora in the new year.
And Hutao's hyping everyone up.
Making a fortune is indeed a fine wish, but it's of lesser importance than good health and happiness, which means we should choose Chongyun,
Lord
the skilled
Jesus.
exorcist who keeps everyone's home safe from evil spirits.
Huh? Now you're nominating me? I can't be the one when we have the Conqueror of Demons right here. Adeptus Xiao has the most seniority among everyone here today. We should—
I refuse. I am most certainly not the most distinguished guest here.
Is he going to say it's Zhongli? Oh lord, please don't.
You should all be able to make the right judgment based on your observations.
No, it's gonna go in the, or you're gonna say
One
it.
person here is well acquainted with everyone else.
Hmm? Hey, what?
Oh, that's right.
I'm the only well-connected person here, though.
Huh? Who else is there?
You, of course. Take a look in the mirror.
Huh? Huh?
Is Paimon gonna do it?
Does that mean Paimon's the most distinguished guest? Oh, well, that was unexpected.
I agree. Paimon's just the one we need. Without a friend constantly by your side, a long journey would become dreadfully lonesome.
Always there to help us adjust the time.
But once you have someone there to brighten up the atmosphere, everything along the way will become lively and vibrant too.
The traveler has traversed many nations and left behind a great deal of fascinating stories. But without Paimon, they would have become quite monotonous.
Yes, because I never talk.
Paimon plays an indispensable role in making your journey a happy and smooth one.
You guys, Paimon's not used to being praised like that.
She's gonna cry.
Those were genuine compliments, right?
Of course, you're the best travel companion ever.
Thank you. You made Paimon wait for a long time, but Paimon's not mad anymore.
Don't take everything to heart, Paimon. Friends tease each other all the time.
That is indeed true.
That means Paimon is as important to the traveler as Guoba is to me. Looks like we've come to an agreement. Any objections before we proceed?
I trust the traveler's judgment.
Then Paimon it is. And now, the world's most excellent traveler's greatest companion, guide, and friend.
Yo.
Paimon will be refilling and lighting the incense for us. Here you go. Take the match and don't burn yourself.
Little nubbly fingers.
Things go really wrong. Here's the 2-for-1 coupon. Jesus Christ.
Amidst everyone's laughter and applause, Paimon clumsily lights the incense. You'll have a relaxed heart-to-heart chat all the way until nightfall. Now that everyone has their fill of delicious food and tea, it's time to say goodbye.
It's getting late. I won't take up any more of your time. You're all free to go as you please.
The food and dessert were delicious. Thanks for the treat, Director.
Yep, the tea was amazing too. You don't have to go all polite on me.
Just remember to come when I invite you next time. It's dark out, so I'm going to accompany Xiangling, Xingqiu, and Changyin back home. As for the rest of the guests, I'll leave them to our consultant.
No need. I'm headed towards the harbor to meet a friend on the ship. There's no need to trouble one such as Mr. Zhongli. I think you know the place I'm talking about. Come meet me anytime.
I will.
It was great getting to know you all. Let's meet again when the spring breeze begins to blow.
Imagine he just TPs away.
We'll catch you all later then. Don't forget to return to the parlor later. There's something I need you to do.
Understood. See you later. Well then.
Rex Lapis.
Just Zhongli will do. I live as a mortal in Liyue Harbor now. I am just one among many who begin work at sunrise and retire to rest at sundown. If we were to consider status and seniority as Zhongli, I should be respectfully referring to you as Adepti Xiao.
Heaven forbid.
Adepti Xiao? Let's stop teasing him now.
I meant what I said. I heard that during the Lantern Rite Music Festival, you conferred with Streetward Rambler and Cloud Retainer. I take it as you've gained a lot more knowledge about the past. The same truth will sound different coming from different people. As more bear witness to a story, feelings and interpretations expand in variety too. I once had a pleasant chat about the past and present with a Sumeru scholar named Soraya, and learned a few things about her research topic.
Oh shit.
From the evidence she found and the conclusion she made, her area of research is already very close to the truth. But there are multiple sides to humans and gods alike. In the legends recorded by humans, some gods were depicted as arrogant and condescending, while others were kind and capable. But whether to me, Streetward Rambler, Cloud Retainer, or younger Adepti such as Xiao and Ganyu, those Adepti and gods that may seem extraordinary to humans are something more akin to close companions. This was as true back then as it is right now. Just how Xiao may seem unapproachable to most, but the Traveler has proved otherwise, so there's no need to dwell too much on certain things.
Zhongli, what you're saying is...
It looks like you understood what I meant. It'll be time for me to go back and meet up with the director. Goodbye for now.
Bye, Zhongli. Everyone's gone now. Paimon always feels a little empty inside when a lively celebration ends. But at least you always stay by Paimon's side.
I know it's a cheerful atmosphere, but this foreshadowing is quite concerning.
Paimon, the best and most distinguished travel guide, will always stay by your side, traveler.
It's my honor. I'm afraid there'll be a lot to ask of you in the future too, most distinguished Paimon.
Good that you're aware of that.
The events of today occurred so abruptly. I appreciate your kindness.
His social battery's drained. The feeling's mutual. You don't have to thank me every time.
Okay. I'll see you next time then.
Bye, short boy. When he said shit, that was a really nice epilogue. I did hope that I did wish for a little bit more interaction between Venti and Zhongli though, but maybe this is just a taste of what's to come.
This is such a cool ship! Facing the sea breeze and gazing out at the soaring seagulls. Makes me want to sing out loud! Kazuha, how about I stay here and be the ship's resident bard? What are my prospects?
With your level of artistic finesse, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. But I'm afraid the sailors aboard are not the most versed in the arts. They probably wouldn't understand the deeper meaning your poetry holds.
You can't say that for sure. Poetry is spur-of-the-moment creations. Anyone viewing the same sights and experiencing the same atmosphere would surely understand. There's a port in Mondstadt too, but
Doorman port.
I rarely get the chance to board any of the ships. Speaking of ships, everything's perfect about this one, except... Kazuha, could you tell your captain that my height says nothing of my age? I'm way past drinking age. How often does one get to enjoy a seafood feast on a ship? It'll be a real shame if there isn't anything stronger to enhance the food. Pretty please.
There's not much I can do about that. It's not because Captain Beto's not on the ship right now, but because there's no room for negotiation on this matter.
Dang.
Even I have to sit in the no-drinking zone every time.
But I don't get drunk after just a few sips. Trust me, I can hold my liquor really well.
He actually was here. That's good to know. Ah, there he is! Goba!
The vegetables are fresh, and there are enough wheats and grains stocked up. I'll pass on the seafood. Oh, it's you. We meet again. Surprised to see me here?
I want to hear his sound effects again.
It's the director's orders. Zhongli worked all day and night at the restaurant during the festival and didn't get to have any time to enjoy the festivities.
Oh, that's nice.
The director sent me here to help out in the kitchen so that Zhongli will have some time to herself. But with someone as hardworking as you around, there seems to be nothing much for me to do. It feels good seeing my old friend in the kitchen, fetching ingredients and lighting fires. Perhaps I should borrow Cloud Retainer's Supreme Cuisine machine to speed things up.
Yes, borrow Cloud Retainer's microwave. I love when they do this. It makes it feel so alive.
Try something new.
Hey, don't tell me you called me over for just a game of chess.
You have to be more specific, Captain Beto. Is it that you find playing chess an uninteresting activity, or that you're unhappy about my lack of novel ideas? If you don't specify what you mean, how could I know what I should do to please you?
Hey, yo!
Of course. I make a single remark and you reply with a full-blown lecture. Maybe we should deal with all official affairs publicly in the future. It might just make things easier.
I'd be perfectly happy with that. I'm just worried that Captain Beto's business might be negatively affected.
Don't give me that. That woman from Yanshang Tea House sometimes comes aboard to ask for information. She requested the fleet to import some goods, but how could I not know who she's actually working for?
Oh, you sure know a lot, Captain Beto. How about I ask her to come over? Or maybe we go straight to her tea house. With one more person around, we'll be able to have some variety in our chess games. I hope that would be less of a bore to you.
Why does this feel so sus?
So, we're still gonna play chess after all.
Yeah, I hope it's actually, chess. It is chess. Right?
Xingqiu, you have to be honest.
Honest about what?
How did you and Venti really meet?
Why are you suddenly asking that?
Aren't they book buddies?
Yeah, we met a few times at a book convention. That's all.
Oh, really? With that extraordinary demeanor and literary talent, he's definitely not just any bard.
Hutao's about to sniff it out.
If he's someone that could hold his ground in a conversation with a consultant, he needs to at least be as talented as me.
Perhaps you're overthinking this matter.
Hutao, Xingqiu wouldn't lie to us.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth.
Huh?
Xingqiu!
I'm actually a fan of Venti's poetry. You all know that I love reading, and sometimes come across poetry from Mondstadt. Among those works, I admire the ones penned by Venti the most. Just as Hutao said, his artistry is the reflection of his personality. Remarkable grace and exceptional literary talent. I guess Venti didn't tell you the whole truth back at the restaurant because he didn't want to embarrass me in front of everyone. He's such a considerate person.
Yes, right. I can confirm that. When Xingqiu was busy with other things, he asked me to buy him poetry books in secret.
I see. That didn't sound like too much of a big deal. You could have told us right away.
Well, I'm telling you now, aren't I?
Oh, so that's your story. Forget it. Let's drop this topic. It's not often that the four of us are all together. What should we do next? Hide and seek, hopscotch, or some shopping?
Since there's 4 of us, why don't we borrow a mahjong set?
And lastly, we finish off by going back to Xiao.
Yan Xiao just came up here with some almond tofu, but I haven't finished everything Xiangling gave me yet. You should try some too. I'm not as experienced in tasting mortal food as you, and I couldn't tell the difference. There must be many different stories to tell of the hustle and bustle of the mortal world, too. You can tell me. I will listen.
Let me tell him! Let me tell him! You bastard! You can't just do that and then... God damn it. Okay. It seems like... And I believe that brings this year's Lantern Rite to an end. Another good one, in fact. You know, on the same par as last year's. Though last year had a bit more, like, I believe, character interaction. This year's was a bit more character-centered. And I feel like, especially with, like, this recent, the Lantern Rite events are... And along with this one has been slowly building up some sort of story. That's what I'm thinking. I wonder what their plan is with this storyline eventually. Is it gonna factor into the main storyline? Yada yada, you know. Like the one thing I talked about where, like, I believe there's going to be a patch eventually that it's going to, like, be in a very serious point in the overall story that putting a Lantern Rite event in the middle feels a bit awkward, so maybe they're building towards that exact place in the story. I know that is quite the way off into the future, but Mihoyo does love planning things ahead of time quite a lot. Oh wow, we got to see what Madame Ping, Guizhong, and Shenhe. I said Shenhe, I'm sorry. Look, you can't blame me, okay? They basically had the same outfit. First of all, playable Adepti. Well, like, you know what the Adepti I'm referring to, right? Mountain Shaper, Cloud Retainer, yada yada yada. Not off the table. They have human forms. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the bird is kind of hot in her human form. That long, sleek black hair looking like Bayonetta. Guizhong. I didn't expect her to be, like, look that, like, youthful. But, hey, I'm not complaining either. Hey, Madame Ping that we can see right now. Look at her in her prime. She has such a nice design. It's been a whole year since I've been making Genshin content now that I've realized. I only wish I've started sooner. I don't think this ranks above or below last year's Lantern Rite. And in second place is probably the Lantern Rite I didn't play, which was, I think, solely focused on Xiao and whatnot. The first Lantern Rite. I'm just excited what the next installment of Lantern Rite is gonna be about then. I know I literally just finished this, but, like, it's got me, you know, I have high hopes for the future now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching along my playthrough of, you know, the Lantern Rite storyline this time of year around. And, you know, let me know your thoughts again, as usual, about the story quest down in the comments, what you liked about it as another new year goes by. I wish every single one of you out there all the very best, you know, and thank you for watching. Have a good one. See ya!